Okay, let's give you guys some more practice. Imagine you're on top of a cliff, which is 70 meters high, which happens to be on Jupiter. Gravity on Jupiter is this. You're going to fire the cannonball vertically upwards at 100 meters per second. So the moment after firing the cannonball, we are going to retract our plank like this, okay, and the cannonball will continue its way up to its maximum height, and then it will then free fall all the way back to ground level. The question is, um, calculate the total flight time for this cannonball. So how long will it take to travel from here up here and then free fall all the way down here? Well, calculate the total flight time for the cannonball. So press pause and have a go. Okay, there are lots of ways of doing this, but learn to draw your graphs, because once you've got your graph, you can really get to see what's going on. You get to appreciate what's going on. So here, oh, hang on. So this is your graph here. So we're going to fire the cannonball from here, and then well, when it gets to its maximum height, this point here, the velocity will be 0. Let's call the time it takes to get from here up to its maximum height. Let's call it T max. And then it's going to free fall back to its original position. Let's call this T plank. Okay, and then, well, it will continue all the way down here to T ground. So your velocity time graph will look like this. So T max is this point here. So this point here is this here. Okay, T plank is this point here. This is your T plank, and then your T ground is this point here. Okay, and the area of this bit here represents the actual height. So from here up to its maximum height. So the area here represents this. This area here represents the distance from the maximum height down to its original position. Okay, and this area here represents from here to the ground. Well, the height of the cliff, basically, this area here, and this whole area here, represents the distance from here all the way to the ground. There are lots of ways to work out the total flight time, but try to do it this way. Work out this height here. Okay, work out the maximum height, and then add it to the height of a cliff. That will give you the overall height. Now, once you've got the overall height, it's a matter of asking the question: how long will it take a cannonball to free fall all the way to the ground? Now, when something's free falling, you can jump to this formula, gt squared over 2, and then you've got your maximum height. You've got your overall height here. You put it into here, and then work backwards to find out t. So that will give you this t here. Okay, and then you need to get this t added to this t here, the time it takes to get from here all the way up to its maximum height. Okay, well that's the aim. But the first thing you need to do is to work out T max. Once you've got T max, it gives you an idea inside your mind of what's going on, the time it takes to get to maximum height. So most of the time, find out the T max, because that will give you a rough idea of what's going on inside your mind. So in order to find out T max, we need to come up with an equation for this line here. Well, whenever you have a straight line in maths, it's going to be y equals mx plus c. Okay, and then blah 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 blah. This will be your equation for a straight line. I've done lots of videos on this, so if you don't understand how you get from here to here, then watch one of the earlier videos. So this line here is given by this magical equation here. We want to find out T max, so the time it takes to get to maximum height. So at this point here, the velocity of the cannonball will be 0. Remember, the cliff is here. It fires all up and then down. We are trying to find out the time it takes to get to this point here. So put 0 into the V here. Work backwards to find out the time. So that will give us the time to get from here to here. Again, if you don't understand this part, watch one of the earlier videos. So we are putting 0 into the v here. So at v equals 0, then basically we've got our equation here. Blah 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 blah. Then the time it takes to get to maximum height is given by this. Okay. Now that we've got the time to maximum height, so our T max. This is our T max here. Our T max is 4.33. Now, if you work out the area underneath, well, if you work out this area here, it represents the so you've got your cliff here. Fire it up all the way down here. This area here represents this height here. So we need this height here, and then later we can add it to the height of the cliff. Then that will give us the overall height. Okay. Well, first we need to know the maximum height. So to find out the maximum height, work out the area of this triangle. So get the height here times the width. That will give us a rectangle, and then cut in half. Okay. So the height is given by the height here. Well, hang on. So we want to work out the height. So get this length, which is 100, times this width here, which is this, and then divided by 2. That will give us the area of that triangle, which happens to be this. So what that means is that the distance from here to the maximum height is 216.5. Okay. And then we've got to get this distance here, add it to the height of the cliff. So this distance from here to here is given by this, and then we're going to add it to the cliff. So the overall height here is given by this. Now now it's just a matter of finding out how long it takes for the cannonball to free fall from here down to here. Basically, find the time it takes for the cannonball to free fall from here down to here. Okay. Sorry about this. Hang on. So the cliff is here like this. We've just worked out this height here. Okay. Well, it turns out that this height here equals the area of this triangle here. Okay. Well, anyway, so what we've got our total height here. This is our total height, which is given by this. Now we will jump to our free fall equation. So put this into the h, okay, and then work backwards to find out t. That will give us the time it takes to get to free fall from here down to this level here. Okay, so put this number into here, and then work backwards to find out t, and t is given by this. Okay, you might have to pause the video and think for yourself bit by bit, because I'm skipping through this. So anyway, so the T max here is given by this. So the time it takes to get from here to T max is 4.33, and we just worked out that this T here is the time it takes from here down to T ground. Okay. So hang on. This here is T plank. T plank is here. T ground is here. So we've got our time here from the maximum height to T ground. So all we need to do is get this, add it to this. That will give us the overall flight time. So flight time equals this thing here, which is this here, add it to this, which is this, and then that gives us 9.31 seconds. So overall, the answer is 9.31 seconds. Okay, let me just give you a quick scroll of the whole answer, so you can pause and think for yourself. So here, you start by drawing your velocity time graph. I'm just going to give you a scroller here, so you can pause it and then think for yourself. Okay. Okay, hang on, almost there. And then hang on, yeah, wait, almost there. So yep, so you can pause this at any time and think for yourself. Okay, so that's your final answer.